happy fucking birthday. Shit. Clean your fucking mirror. Alright. Hey, all you fucking gays. It's your boy, Digibro. Here with an unboxing video. Actually, it's your boy, Suplects. Here with an unboxing video. I got a couple of packages. I've never done an unboxing video before, mostly because I don't like being on camera. Being on camera is fucking stupid. But yeah, I bought a couple of packages like a week ago, or 2 weeks ago, or a month ago, or a year ago, or whatever the fucking it was. I bought these packages. It was like last week. I got sick again, which is why I sound stuffy. I've been sick off and on for like a month, and I've been surviving off of this crap. It's also one of the main reasons why I haven't really been making a lot of videos. So if snot begins to dribble out of my nose, you have my permission to laugh. Alright, what did I get here, man? What is this? What did I get? What is this? Oh, it's a folder. It even has an open sign on it. Wow. Man, I wonder what that's supposed to mean. I wonder if it means that I'm supposed to keep it closed. Oh man, what is it? What is in the mysterious manila folder? Is that manila? It looks orange to me. The mysterious manila folder. Thank you, the ENT. That's really cool. I got that. You might be able to tell there's some musicians, some guitar players there. Thank you, the ENT. Alright. This original print of art, Jason Becker, drawn by artist Greg Sellers. 2/20/23. That right there is probably doesn't look all that good, but this is the first package. This is Jason Becker. This is artwork done. It's kind of done in a sort of a surreal, very colorful kind of artwork. I saw this on where did I see this? I think I just saw it on like Google or something. I was just looking up. I just wanted to get like a really cool poster of Jason, and I got next to me here. You can't see it, but I got what I call the Wall of Heroes, and part of the Wall of Heroes is also what I call the Yngwie Malmsteen Wall of Astonishment. And I'll put up a picture of it right here or something, but I was thinking I wanted to put Jason's picture up there as part of the Yngwie Malmsteen Wall of Astonishment, but I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to put him next to Jeff Beck over here, right below Sean Lane. I got Sean Lane, Frank Zappa, and Jeff Beck over here as part of the Wall of Heroes, and Jason Becker here is going to go right next to Jeff Beck. Man, this is pretty cool though. I like this. My Frank Zappa and my Sean Lane posters are kind of sort of in the style, very like abstract, surreal, And the Jeff Beck poster I have is Blow by Blow, which is also, it portrays him in kind of like an abstract impressionist kind of a way. I don't know if you've ever seen, if you've never listened to Jeff Beck before, go check out Jeff Beck. He's awesome. The album Blow by Blow is really good. Definitely, if you've never heard Jeff Beck before, listen to the song Because We Ended as Lovers. If you never listened to Jeff Beck before, check out that song. And I do believe it is on the album Blow by Blow. But yeah, in terms of theming, I wanted to kind of keep within that abstract impressionist sort of theme, kind of like the Beastie Boys music video Shadrach, which you didn't know, Klaxkey Supo, the people who made Rugrats, they did some of the artwork for that music video. I need to get a Beastie Boys poster. I don't know if I might put it up. I don't really have any room. I'm running out of room. This is like a child's room. This is, this house was built in like the 1890s. I moved in here and like, oh, here's, you can stay in this room. I'm like, okay. It's about as small as the room I had back when I was a kid, but I don't really have a whole lot of stuff, so it's not like I need a whole lot of stuff. I will go ahead and leave you like that, and put you there. And I actually opened this up, before. Actually, when I first got this, it was snowing outside, and whoever they dropped it off, they left it on the steps, like in the snow. When I opened it up, I was like, oh God, please tell me that the fucking poster, because I already knew what it was, I didn't want the poster to be ruined. Alright, and here comes the mama chicken. Let me find, where did I put my, here it is. Now, I don't care if you guys know my real fake name that I use. I don't want you guys knowing my address. This is not technically my house, even though I pay bills here. I bought something else that's cool. I wonder what it's gonna be, guys. What's it gonna be? Yes, I am wearing Sanrio pajamas. Thank you for noticing. Oh man, some bubble wrap. Can't ever have enough bubble wrap. Ooh, I wonder if they put anything in. They put something in this bubble wrap though. What is that? It looks like a AC power supply. Let me see. Oh man, check out this 120 volt AC power supply. No, its input is 120 volt AC. The output is 9 volt AC. Man, check that out. 9 volt AC power supply. Well, hell yeah. I love power supplies. Power supplies, especially power supplies that are like this. You guys remember that AVGN video where he's talking about the like why does the plug have to be part of the box? Why can't you just put the box and with the wire between the wire and then have the plug? You guys remember that? Remember that video? The Nintendo nerd, James Rolfe. Anybody remember James Rolfe, the Nintendo nerd? Anybody remember James Nintendo nerd? Benny, Spinny, and Jimmy? I gotta watch out because I got a bowl of salad over here. I don't want to knock that over. Oh man, we got some more bubble wrap. Check that out. Oh yeah. Oh man, here comes the coup de Gracie. Oh man, what could it be? Tis. I'm actually surprised that they included the power supply I didn't even ask them if they were going to include it. Sorry, I'm over here testing this thing out before I even show it to you. I keep losing my safety cutter. I actually got this back when I was working at Kroger. Summer of 2020, I briefly worked with Kroger during the Corona Boner virus. Back when everybody got the Corona Boner. Ooh, man. This thing has definitely seen better days, I'll tell you what. But for an old effects unit from the mid-90s, from the mid-2000s, this right here is a Pod XT Live. And, you know, everybody's talking about the brand spanking new Line 6 Helix and the Pod Go and all that stuff, you know. Everybody's talking about that. And I got a buddy back home in Albany, Georgia, who's part of a band called Neon Warlords. Back in the day, back in the 2000s, he used to be in a band called Colossal Catastrophe. And then after that, he was in a band with his brother called Doghead. Man, I used to go to a lot of Doghead shows. Back in the 2010s, back when I was still living in Albany. Okay, can my camera please focus? Aye. It's probably going to be a lot of focusing issues. But yeah, my buddy Chris, I was asking him about the Helix, and he said that he got one, and he said that you know, it was probably the best purchase he had ever made. And I was thinking about getting one. I have an HD 500X. It's actually sitting right here, and it's on. I use it for anytime you hear me playing guitar on this channel, and anytime all those little interludes that I do on the Let's Plays, where I'm playing guitar or whatever, all of that's done on my HD 500X. I got one of those, and it was brand spanking new. And it was one of those weird purchases where I'm glad that I got it, but it really wasn't worth the money that I spent on it. I think brand new when I got it, it was like almost $800 or something like that. And the HD 500X is cool, and it's good, and it's got a lot of features that I don't even use, and some of which, like the wah pedal, this thing right here, the wah pedal on my HD 500X doesn't work anymore. So volume swells and all the wah stuff doesn't work at all. The Variac, I don't have a Variac, but it does work as an interface, which I use it as an interface for the keyboard over there for my synthesizer, which I hope and I plan to do more videos about. I actually have one more thing to say about Jason Becker before I end this video. But the reason why I got this XT Live is because a buddy of mine a long time ago had one of these, and I used to play around with this a lot, and I still believe to this day that this is one of the best effects processors that Pod has ever made. And I was listening to an interview. I'll try to remember to put a link in, but if you look up if you just look up Van Halen Guitar Player Magazine interview 1980 or something like that, there's a guy who he's been uploading these telephone interviews with all these guitar players and stuff and all these other musicians that he's done interviews with over the phone for magazines and stuff like that. He's been uploading all of these phone call interviews that he's had with these people. A couple of them are these Eddie Van Halen interviews that he did. And I was sitting there, I was making lunch one day, and I was listening to one of them, and Eddie Van Halen was talking about how, like, oh yeah, you know, all these new digital effects, and this was back in like the 70s and like the early 80s, and he was talking about, like, oh yeah, all these new pedals and shit, and like all these new amps and stuff, and all these new stomp boxes that, you know, that people are like, oh yeah, I got this new thing, and Eddie was saying like you know, he would go into a guitar shop and be like, okay, hey, what's the cheapest piece of crap you can sell me? And he was talking about how like I think it was like some kind of Boss effects pedal or something like that, or some kind of like some kind of reverb or delay that he was using that was like just the crappiest fucking thing he had ever heard. But then, like, you know, he Frankensteined it with a whole bunch of other things and got really unique sounds out of it. And I kind of lean towards that a little bit too. I like the more raw and I like the weird kind of stuff. That synthesizer I got is from like, I think it's from like 2006 or 2007. But I swear to God, it's got like like hundreds and hundreds of patches in it. They just sound really good. To me, they sound really good. Like, I listen to that keyboard over there when I'm sitting there playing around with it, and I think to myself, I'm just like, man, like, you know, like fucking Joe Zawinul and like all those guys from the 70s and 80s, and Pat Metheny, and because, you know, he was using the guitar synth, so was Sean Lane. Actually, Sean Lane was using the same guitar synth as Pat Metheny did, the Roland GR something or other 22, whatever it is, 808, whatever the fuck it was, I don't know. But yeah, as you can see, it's got a USB input, so I can also use this as a as an audio interface device if I really want to. It's got MIDI, it's got stereo, it basically has all the same inputs and outputs and everything that the HD 500X has. Does it have the Variac? Yeah, it even has the Variac right here. It's got a plastic plug over it for some reason. Maybe whoever just didn't use it much, probably in the same way as I don't use mine. But yeah, I'll probably do like a separate video, like showing this thing off and testing it. It's got a little bit of oxidation on some of the metal here. It definitely looks like it's been used. Not all that much, but it has certainly been used. It was inspected by somebody who seems to employ the same strategy I do. Is, you know, when somebody tells me to leave a signature, I leave the most illegible signature. Sometimes I even write with my left hand that I can. I've gotten out of jury duty doing that before once. Yeah, I wanted to say one more thing about Jason Becker. If you've never heard of Jason Becker before, so Jason here, to talk a little bit about Jason. So Jason's been a big influence on me. I started listening to him back probably mid 2000s, around the same time I started listening to Sean Lane, and I knew that, you know, let me take a sip of my coffee here. Don't want to get any coffee on this though. I started listening to Sean Lane first because I wasn't really big into heavy metal and shred. I was more I was more into guys like John McLaughlin and Frank Zappa, and I was into a lot of the really sort of the heavy blues guys, you know. And heavy used to mean something else, by the way. Like people associated with like heavy metal music, when you say like, oh man, that's heavy. Like heavy used to mean just like you know, you would say like somebody's like real heavy, you know, that might mean that they're deep or profound, or it might just mean that they're really cool, they're really out there, you know, they're heavy, man. You know, back in the 60s and the 70s, heavy used to mean something different. And I used to listen to a lot of what I would refer to as heavy blues guys like Albert King and Albert Collins. I used to listen to a lot of Buddy Guy. Buddy Guy's got a record, came out in 78 or 79, called it's called Stone Crazy. It took me a minute to remember it. Buddy Guy has a lot of albums. He has a lot of really good albums, but that's the first album that he did where he was really able to cut loose. And Buddy Guy was one of those, he still is, he's one of those guys that was like a really big inspiration to me, because nobody really, camera is going out of focus again for some fucking reason. Anyway, Buddy Guy was one of those. He was like a big inspiration for me, and nobody ever really let him cut loose on records because, you know, as whatever his name is, the main producer over at Chess Records, which is a record label that he worked for a while back in the '60s, said that his guitar playing was motherfucking noise. And then a few years later, Jimi Hendrix comes out, and everybody thinks that Jimi Hendrix is the greatest guitar player ever. And then, you know, people like Buddy Guy were doing crazy stuff like that before Jimi Hendrix was even around, and, you know. And of course, once again, I'm forced to interject because I'm fucking stupid and I don't know how to record videos, and I don't know how to write notes, and I don't know how to keep my thoughts together because I'm a scatterbrained fucking moron. Basically, all I was trying to say with that long, stupid, dumbass story about my favorite heavy blues guys and how that links back together with Jason Becker is I've always been like sort of naturally attracted to these guys who have they're guitar players that seem like they have a lot of pathos to them. You know, like I said, Albert King is one of those guys. Stevie Ray Vaughan is definitely one of those guys for me too. So is Buddy Guy. His playing, and not just his playing, but his life story just has this incredible human kind of nature to it that's very relatable. And it's the same thing with Jason. Same thing with Sean Lane. Same thing with Alan Holdsworth too. With a lot of players. But yeah, basically that was all I was trying to say with that whole story. Is I'm just naturally attracted to musicians and artists who wear their humanity on their sleeve and represent that humanity in their artwork. And Jason is sort of like a similar case where it's like Jason's guitar playing is like absolutely crazy. Like he combines all the craziness of Yngwie Malmsteen and Eddie Van Halen and Jeff Beck and just all of the crazy guitar players just like combined into one, and you get Jason Becker, and he's amazing. Plays in kind of like a neoclassical sort of a style. I think when he was a kid, in coding overload, consider turning down video settings. Why don't you go fuck yourself? But no, and he was a absolutely amazing guitar player. And you know, he's still a great musician, great composer. He was in a band called Cacophony with Marty Friedman. Marty Friedman was one of the lead guitar players for Megadeth. I'm trying to remember what the album Rust in Peace that everybody is like a huge fan of, the album Rust in Peace. Marty Friedman did the lead guitar playing on that album. So if you're a fan of Megadeth, or you've ever heard Megadeth before, you probably heard Marty Friedman. But before Marty Friedman was a part of Megadeth, he did 2 albums with Jason here in a band called Cacophony. One of them is called Go Off, and the other one is called Speed Metal Symphony. Speed Metal Symphony was the first one, Go Off was the second one. And then Marty Friedman did his own solo record. It was purely instrumental, and it was produced by Mike Varney, Shrapnel Records. That one's called Forbidden City. And then Jason did his own solo record around 1989. Around that time, Jason Becker was diagnosed with Lou Gehrig's disease. And also around that time, he tried out to play for David Lee Roth, because David Lee Roth he wasn't in Van Halen anymore, and he had done a record with Steve Vai and Billy Sheehan, and then Billy Sheehan went on to form the band with Paul Gilbert, which is one of my favorite bands of all time. And you can't see it, but I got a poster up there of Mr. Big, and he formed Mr. Big with Paul Gilbert. And so in the wake of all that, Jason Becker teams up with David Lee Roth after he does after he does his solo records, and he does his records with Marty Friedman with Cacophony, and he gets diagnosed with Lou Gehrig's disease. He does a really famous clinic at the Atlanta Institute of Music. I have the DVD of it back there, and actually, it's in the closet. I would have to look for it. At the same time, I got it wasn't this specifically, but I bought some Paganini pieces. It wasn't this one. It was actually Paganini Concerto No. 1. I bought along with that DVD. But I'm a big fan of Paganini. I actually have a Paganini poster up there as part of the Yngwie Malmsteen Wall of Astonishment. But yeah, I love Paganini, and I love his caprices. These have actually helped me to relearn how to read music. Because I learned how to, back when I was taking classical piano lessons as a kid, I learned how to read music, and, well, you know, if you don't use it, you lose it, kids. Take it from me. But yeah. Now, unfortunately, Jason is wheelchair bound and he can't speak anymore. And but he's still alive, and he's still composing music, and his family still helps him, and he gets a lot of help from his fans. And I don't know if any of the proceeds from the, I didn't even bother to check. I mean, I don't know what kind of asshole fan I am. Oh, and the video doesn't want to focus right. I don't know what kind of asshole fan I am. I should have look to see if there were any cool posters on the Jason Becker website. I don't know, I just saw this and thought it was really cool, and it's original art done by some guy. I don't know. I would have to look at the certificate of authenticity again. Greg Sellers. What a name. But yeah. You know, Jason's been a huge inspiration for me. Sorry that I'm talking weird. Like I said, in my head, it feels like somebody built a skyscraper in my head, and they ran out of space, but they kept building it anyway. But yeah, this poster's gonna go up on the wall of heroes, right next to Jeff Beck. And these are little birthday presents to myself. My birthday is coming up. But yeah, anyway, that was my unboxing video. I'm probably going to upload this along with probably another Let's Play or something, or some kind of music thing. I've been mostly just putting most of the music stuff I've been working on just into Let's Play videos, and I don't know, between being sick and work being kind of weird lately, I don't know. I haven't felt very creatively inspired, but maybe getting this guy, this bad boy right here, and that really cool Jason Becker poster, I can put up on my wall of heroes and my wall of inspiration. Do a video testing this guy out, and might even get me to finally restring Kaiju-sama. Because I restrung it improperly, and anyway, that's gonna be it for me. I'm gonna take some more cold medicine because I feel like shit, and maybe I'll put something funny at the end of this video, but until then, buenas noches.